So today we'll be calculating the slope of a tangent line. Just to refresh our memory, we have to remember about the secant line. We're finding the rate of change, right? Which is, we're finding slope, which is distance over time. And to find the tangent line, we have to go from opposite sides. So we find always one point in the secant line and another point approximating, right, to find then the tangent line. Just to remember. But that's just a little review. So we have this equation. So I'm secant, so it's going to be f of x minus fa over x minus a. And this is just finding, of course, the slope of a secant. But when we look for the tangent, the slope of a tangent line, we will be it will be presented to us like in this way. M tangent. So we have a limit of x a over f of x minus fa over x minus a. And there is a second method, it is a second method, but also it's presented in a different way. And we can derive it from this equation we have here. And I will show how this is done. So we will be substituting x for a plus h in this case. So if we have f of x, so it's going to be f of a plus h minus f of a over a plus h minus a. Due to this, we get rid of these, right? Because they cancel each other. And our limit becomes h to 0, right? Because here at the bottom, h cannot equal to 0. If it does, it doesn't work. So this is the second way the equation will be presented to us over h. Just to keep that in mind. But now I will make an example in using both methods. And what you have to keep in mind when you're solving with either or. So firstly, we're going to be using this equation. So we're going to move it down here, right? And we're going to be solving the following problem. So we'll be finding the equation of the line tangent to the graph of f of x equals x squared and at x equals 3. So firstly, we have to keep in mind that we need to first find f of x, and secondly, find a, just to keep that in mind. So in this case, f of x is going to be the following. So let's, So in this case, we're gonna do, right? So in here, we're gonna put x squared minus 3, because a is now, a is gonna be x, right? So it's squared x, right, minus 3. And then we have to write limit x to a, right, equals. And we always have to keep in mind to write it in this form in order for our teachers not to take away any points. So x is going to a, right? One approximation to a. So now, in order for the bottom, right, so this cannot equal 0, we must simplify the top as the following. So we know we have x squared minus 3 squared, which is going to be x minus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3. And what we're doing is just getting rid of that x minus 3. And we're going to go back, right, and rewrite our equation. And now we're here back, and we know that x equals 3 in this case, right? So we go ahead and implement it here, right? X equals 3, we know that. So it's going to be 3 plus 3, and now we know that the slope of that tangent is going to be 6. Now we can use the second method as mentioned, and it will provide the same answer. And we're going to use it right here. Alrighty. And we're going to use the same, information above. So I'm just going to rewrite it here. Okay. So always we need to think about that in this case, right? X is being substituted for a plus h. And now, firstly, we have to find our f of h, right? F of x, I'm sorry. So, writing this equation, 0. Now we know a, right? A is going to be 3. So, in this is going to be 3 plus h squared minus, we know a equals 3. It's going to be 3 squared over h. And just to simplify, taking all those f of a plus h to to have a more clean problem to work with, we're going to do the following. So now we just have to FOIL this. And you can do it at the side if you need to. But pretty much it's going to be h squared plus 6h plus 9. Right? So we have here, just write so you don't get confused. 6h plus 9 minus 9. So all over h, don't forget that. We know that these are gonna cancel each other out. And now we have h to 0, right? So now we know that. And we can simplify this, right? H squared plus 6h, right? Take out the h and then we'll be able to cancel once again. And then the bottom is not going to equal to 0. So h plus 6 over h. And again, we can take these out. And now we have limit of h to 0, h plus 6, which we know that h is going to 0, so we just have to add it here and input it, right? So 0 plus 6 is 6. And once again, we've proven that both methods work. I hope this helps.